One of the unique things about successful people, one of the things that successful people do differently is what's called grit. And grit is really defined as commitment to long-term goals despite the barriers. There's something about successful people, they're committed to long-term goals despite the barriers. Now, many of us come from backgrounds where we don't like getting bored. We don't like getting bored doing the same thing over and over and over again. But how many of you know that to be a success in life, sometimes it includes boredom. Sometimes it includes focusing on a particular thing and doing the mundane things. We can't avoid those mundane things. And I found in my life, I would move from one project to another, and I'd find myself using the excuse of, oh, I am the kind of person who gets bored. I need a new challenge. But sometimes what we call boredom is really discouragement. What happens is we're pushing, we experience a few barriers, and then we start feeling discouraged, and we start feeling, is this thing going to work? And then we move on to the next project. When at times we actually need grit. We actually need to wait and see, is this thing going to be successful? And very often you only see the results after a few years. I made a decision in my life that I want to keep pushing certain projects until I see a positive outcome. Now I could pass them on to someone else who's got the staying power to do it, but very often we move ourselves out of certain activities too soon, and we call it boredom, but really what we're lacking is grit. Really what we're lacking is we don't have the backbone to keep pushing through. It becomes negative. Becomes a negative experience for us because it's mundane. Have you ever been in that situation where you call something boredom, but it's really discouragement? So when we talk about pushing through certain barriers, we link it up. We link grit up with other words. Stickability. Stickability. Now, there's a person I was speaking to about stickability recently, and they said, Paul, what kind of word is that? And they're concerned about the grammar. But I think it's actually become a word, stickability. And I told them in the English language, we make up words, and then we end up having them in the dictionary. That's one of my goals, actually, to end up having some of my own made up words in dictionaries. But stickability, staying on with something regardless of the barriers. Mental toughness, being mentally strong at a particular thing. Now you have to be careful here, because some people who are very strong mentally, they're not actually aware of their needs. They're not aware that they're feeling hungry and actually need to eat. They're not aware of the fact that they're in pain now, right? And they end up having nervous breakdowns after a few years. Okay, so still be aware of your needs, but at the same time have that resilience to push through. What is resilience? Resilience is your ability to be mentally tough, your ability to remain calm under pressure. And that's actually one of the reasons why people are chosen to be presidents of nations, where people will look and will say, I don't want someone who's just going to be good in economic times when things are going really well with the economy. I want someone where we have a terrorist attack. Yeah, this person is going to remain calm under pressure. Are you the kind of person who can make sound decisions even when the pressure is on, even when the heat is on? Do you have that kind of grit? I like watching football, and when you see your favorite soccer player playing at his former home ground, being booed, being cajoled by people, and you see him still tackling other people and scoring goals, that's resilience, that's grit. They maintain that even when the naysayers are booing them. Now, they train you with resilience in sport, but in life, a lot of us have learned resilience through the hard times, through perplexity, which is a combination of everything is rapid and everything is also complex. It's a term that was coined by Warren Bennis, perplexity. I like it. Everything is rapid around you. There's turbulence, but everything is also complex. But do you remain level-headed during those times? Are you a person of grit? Are you a person who remains with that sense of resolve that this is my goal and I'm going to keep pushing through? Doesn't matter what happens, I want to attain my goal. Are you like that? If not, begin today to build up that resilience. When we talk about a child being resilient, what do we say? We talk about it when we talk about the child's health. We say he lasted right through winter and didn't catch the flu. Resilience. Are you lasting through the winter of your life and not catching the flu? Are you lasting through difficult restructuring times in your organization and not catching negativity? Are you resilient? Are you mentally tough? Are you a person of grit? This is key to your success. I want to say one more thing as I conclude. I was dealing with some really clever graduates recently, about a week ago, and they were so smart, and I said smartness isn't going to take you to the top. I said resilience will. I said the sad thing for some of you is you'll be overtaken by those who are not as smart as you, but they've got resilience. Resilience helps you to stay at the top. Many people, smartness gets them to the top, but resilience will keep you there. Thank you.